I used to believe love made people better. But after what happened with Jason, I learned it just makes some people crueler. We met at a coffee shop near campus. He was charming, funny, and had that confident energy that made you think he had life all figured out. And me? I was just starting my first job as a junior analyst, trying to prove myself. Jason made me feel seen. Every text, every late-night call, every "you're amazing, Maya," pulled me in deeper. I thought he was my forever. Until one day, he vanished. No explanation, no goodbye. Just silence. At first I panicked. I called, I texted. I even showed up at his apartment, only to find out he'd moved out. My heart broke when his roommate said, "Oh, Jason? He left with her?" Her, the girl from his gym. The one he said was just a friend. He didn't just leave me, he replaced me. And the worst part? He posted about her a week later, smiling, laughing. Caption, "Finally with someone who understands my worth." That line burned into me. Understand his worth? I was the one who believed in him when no one else did. But fine. He wanted better. He could have her. Still, part of me couldn't stop asking. Why wasn't I enough? For months, I drowned myself in work, convincing everyone I was fine. But inside, I was breaking. Every project, every late night was just me trying to outrun the pain. Until one night, I looked in the mirror and realized I wasn't sad anymore. I was angry. Not because he left, but because I let his betrayal define my worth. So I made a decision. No more crying, no more pity. I was going to rebuild myself, piece by piece. I enrolled in leadership courses, started mentoring new hires, and worked my way up the ladder. The late nights, the sacrifices, they weren't for him. They were for me. It took years, but I became someone even I admired. And just when I thought the past was behind me, karma decided it wasn't done with Jason. It started with an email. We were expanding our department and hiring new managers. I got the list of interviewees, and there it was. Jason Miller. I thought my eyes were playing tricks on me. But no. The same man who ghosted me years ago had just applied for a position under my team. I almost laughed. The universe has a wild sense of humor. I had two options. Reject him immediately, or let fate play out. Guess which one I chose. When he walked into the interview room, I almost didn't recognize him. Same smile, same fake charm. But the confidence? Gone. He looked desperate. He didn't recognize me at first. Maybe it was the hair, maybe it was the confidence. But when I said, "Welcome, Jason. Please have a seat," the color drained from his face. He stammered, Maya, wow, you look different." I smiled. People change when they grow up. He laughed nervously. Yeah, I guess so. Small world, huh?" "Very small," I said. "So, tell me, Jason, why do you want to work here?" He started rambling about wanting a fresh start, how his old company didn't appreciate his ideas. Funny. He used to say the same about me. I kept my tone professional, but inside, I could feel my younger self watching, the one who cried herself to sleep over this man. She smiled too. When the interview ended, he stood up, trying to recover his pride. "It was great seeing you again, Maya. Maybe we can grab coffee sometime, catch up." I tilted my head. "I'll let HR get back to you." He left. And I could feel it. The tables had turned. What would you have done in my place? Would you have hired him? Or let him taste rejection? Because I didn't reject him. No, that would have been too easy. I hired him. And that's when the real story began. He thought he could charm his way through again, just like before. But this time, I wasn't the same girl he ghosted. This time, I had power. And I was about to teach him what better really looks like. But what happened next was worse than he ever imagined. When Jason joined the team, I kept things strictly professional. No emotion, no reminders of the past. At least, not yet. He started out confident, talking too much in meetings, trying to prove himself. But his work? Mediocre at best. He'd cut corners, pass off other people's ideas, and take credit for small wins. Sound familiar? I didn't say anything. I just watched. Carefully. Because sometimes, the best revenge isn't destruction. It's exposure. A few weeks in, I noticed he was getting too comfortable, staying late to chat, making flirty comments masked as jokes. "You look amazing today, Maya. You really glow when you're in charge." I'd just smile and say, "Focus on the report, Jason." He'd smirk like it was a game, but the truth is, the game had already begun, and he didn't even know it. One day I overheard him bragging in the break room to another junior analyst. He said, "I used to date Maya back in the day. She's only tough on me because she still has feelings." Feelings? If only he knew what I really felt. I could have called him out right then. But why ruin the show so early? So I let him keep digging his own grave. A month later, our department had a major presentation, a chance to pitch to corporate and secure a huge contract. Jason begged to lead it, swearing he could handle it. I gave him the opportunity, but not without a little adjustment. The draft he prepared was sloppy. So I quietly corrected the data, not to sabotage him, but to see if he'd notice. He didn't. He presented false numbers in front of the entire board. The silence afterward was brutal. His face turned pale as one executive said, "Jason, are you aware these figures are outdated?" He froze, stammered, looked at me like I'd thrown him to the wolves. But I hadn't said a word, because I didn't need to. He ruined himself, just like he once ruined me. After the meeting, he stormed into my office. "Maya, what the hell was that? You set me up." I leaned back in my chair. "Set you up? You had every chance to verify the numbers, Jason. You didn't." He clenched his fists. "You've had it out for me since day one. Admit it." I met his eyes. Calm. Cold. "You mean since the day you ghosted me for someone better?" "No, Jason. I don't hold grudges. I just lead with results." He froze. I could see the realization hitting him. This wasn't revenge out of pettiness. This was karma, methodical and precise. He left without another word. But that wasn't the end. A few days later, HR called me in. Apparently, Jason had filed a complaint, claiming I was emotionally biased against him. I smiled and handed them a folder. Inside were screenshots of his inappropriate messages, time-stamped and clear. The HR rep's eyes widened. "Thank you, Maya. We'll handle it." And just like that, Jason was suspended. When I saw him packing up his desk a week later, he looked like a ghost of himself. No arrogance, no smirk, just silence. He stopped by my door. "Maya, I'm sorry. For everything. I shouldn't have treated you like that back then. Or now." For a moment, I almost felt pity. Almost. I stood up and said, "Jason, I used to wish you'd apologize. I thought it would make me feel better. But now, I don't need it. You taught me how to respect myself by not respecting me." He nodded, eyes wet. "Guess I deserve that." I smiled softly. "No, you deserve to learn." He left, and I never saw him again. A few months later, I got promoted, department head, and when I walked into my new office, I saw the view, the city lights reflecting back, and I realized that story wasn't about Jason anymore. It was about me. How I rose from being broken to being unshakable. Sometimes revenge isn't about payback. It's about proof that you survived what was meant to destroy you. And if you're watching this, wondering what you'd do if someone ghosted you, used you, or left you behind, don't chase them. Don't beg. Build. Because one day, when they least expect it, you'll walk into the room they always wanted to be in, and they'll realize the only better thing they ever had was you. Comment "justice served" if you think he got exactly what he deserved. And remember, sometimes the best revenge is simply outgrowing the person who hurt you.